Welcome to this week's tutorial for the Conceptual Physics assignments. So we are on our third week, April 20th through the 24th. As you can see here, and what we talked about during our class meeting online last week, is that you're going to have two options. So the first option is to do these 4 assignments. All of them are based off of STEM scopes, continuing on with energy. Or you can do the optional engineering project instead. So for this option, you would design and build a roller coaster. The 4 assignments, if you'd like to do them as well as build a roller coaster, you can get extra credit for any of those assignments that you want to complete on top of also building a roller coaster. Also, don't forget that we have live class video meetings this Thursday, April 23rd. So to start off with, I'll talk about your optional assignment, designing and building a roller coaster. It is due by Friday the 24th at midnight on Microsoft Teams and Flipgrid. So if you click on this link, you will see a page that I designed to give you some different resources for building your roller coaster. So there's 2 different example videos. So if you click on that, it will take you to a nice YouTube video. That shows you some different examples of completed projects. And then there are the engineering project guidelines. So basically, since you're doing this at home, I really encourage you to get creative and use any materials that you have at your house. And so I've also looked up different YouTube tutorials. So there's instructions for building a roller coaster if you have tubing, like foam noodles or pipe coverings. There's a YouTube video about building a roller coaster out of cardboard. Maybe you have extra boxes from Amazon or something around your house. And the last one is some video instructions on building a roller coaster out of paper. So whatever you have, you're welcome to use. I also want you to keep in mind that it does not need to be a marble for the roller coaster. If you don't have a marble, you can also use a bouncy ball, a golf ball, ping pong ball, tennis ball, etc. Just know that your roller coaster that you build will have to fit whichever ball that you choose, and that will have to work throughout your entire roller coaster. If you scroll down, there's the roller coaster project instructions and grading. This is also posted on Microsoft Teams. So there's more details again about what this project is. It's worth 50 points total. The first part is a list of all the different things you could include on your roller coaster design, and that you need to have a video of it working. So for each of these different things, you can double up. So for example, you could have 2 90-degree turns. So that would total 4 points if you had 2 of them. Corkscrews are worth 6 points. Some sort of creative theme could be worth up to 10 points. And then a video of your roller coaster actually working successfully is worth 5 points. So you want to aim for a roller coaster design that gets you up to at least 25 points, although you could go more elaborate and get extra credit points here. The other part is the roller coaster lab write-up. So you can see here I've written out the points. You get 1 point for a roller coaster name. Then you need to sketch out your roller coaster and make sure you put in some effort so I can kind of tell which roller coaster it is. and include information if you can. If you have, if you only have like a measuring stick and you can only measure it in inches, go ahead and put it in inches instead of centimeters. And then include the number of loops, corkscrews, and turns. And then you're going to place a 1 next to the point of the roller coaster where the car accelerates. Place a 2 at a point on your roller coaster where the car decelerates. Remember, the car is the ball, so the marble where it speeds up or where it slows down. Place a 3 next to the point where the car has the greatest potential energy. So think back to that potential energy formula. Where would it have the most potential energy? And place a 4 next to a point where the car has the greatest kinetic energy. And notice that it just asks you to place it at one single point. So even if there's another area that has a lot of kinetic energy or a lot of potential energy, just choose the point where it has the greatest potential or the greatest kinetic energy, which, hint, hint, it should probably be at the very beginning of your roller coaster. Then you're going to calculate the potential energy of the tallest drop of your roller coaster. Again, if you can show your work here, that would be great. And also you're going to calculate the kinetic energy of your roller coaster. Again, you guys should have already looked up these formulas before on last week's assignments. But again, if you just Google it, they're pretty simple to calculate. If you don't have a way to measure the height of your roller coaster, because you will need that for your potential energy formula, you can just kind of estimate the height. It does not have to be exact. So this entire second page of the lab write-up is worth 25 points. Now, I mentioned before that it is all posted on Microsoft Teams. So if you look into your Microsoft Teams assignments, you will see the roller coaster lab write-up. And so I've attached in the instructions here, so you can go in and edit the lab write-up and attach any pictures or videos, whatever you want here. But I think the easiest way to post the video of your roller coaster working, so this portion right here, the video of its performance, will be to post it in Flipgrid. So if you go to Flipgrid, you should see that there's the roller coaster project grid. So if you click on this, you can record a response, or if you've also pre-recorded it, you should be able to just upload it there. Okay, so it gave me an option to import the video there. Now, if you would rather just do the assignments online, let me go back to the original 4 assignments. So if you choose not to do the roller coaster and you just want to do these 4 assignments, they're all directly related to STEM scopes. So you'll see STEM Scopepedia. You guys have done these before. It's the reading on STEM scopes, and there's some questions to answer at the end of the reading. Is due on Tuesday by midnight. Assignment 2 is a PhET simulation. Now, the PhET simulation is posted on STEM scopes, but the lab write-up for it, I don't believe will show up for you guys. So you will need to go to Microsoft Teams to actually pull up the lab write-up for the PhET simulation. Assignment 3 is another brief reading about the design of a more efficient gasoline engine, due on Thursday, April 23rd by midnight. And then your 4th assignment is to create a commercial or a little skit about a cell phone charger, something other than just the unique type of cell phone charger that we normally use. And this video is due on Flipgrid, but there are some kind of brainstorming and research ideas, details that are posted on Microsoft Teams. So let me show you the assignments on STEM scopes here. So you should notice when you log in, you should already be on STEM scopes here. There are 3 assignments posted. So the first one is the STEM Scopepedia. And this is my teacher view. So let me show you the closer student view. So it has all the key terms. And this is the reading. So what I would recommend is first looking down at the very bottom where all the questions are. And then you can go back and start to read through what you need to answer those questions, because there's a lot of reading for this particular scope. So when you look here, you'll see, first off, reviewing key terms. So in your own words, you should explain what a system is, or what surroundings mean, what energy is, and make sure that they're in your own words and related to physics. Because, of course, for example, surroundings could mean something very different, or same with system could be something very different. So make sure the definition is related to physics. Then you have some fill in the blank answers, some multiple choice, and some short answer. Then the second assignment is the STEMs, the PhET simulation. So again, this simulation is assigned to you guys, but I don't believe you can see the printed files, the lab write-up itself. So there's different options to choose here. You'll be working a lot with the energy simulation, and so it'll ask you to try out different scenarios here, like changing the spring constant. So see how it's a really thin spring versus a really thick spring. You can change the mass of the weight. So for example, if I did a really thin spring and I did a really heavy weight, and you can see as it drops that the energy here changes. And I can actually slow this down so I can start to see how the potential energy changes, and then the kinetic energy changes as it moves up and down. So, and this bar right here shows you the total energy. Gravity, right now it's set to Earth. You can change it to different areas like the moon, Jupiter. Damping is the amount of friction. So you could give it like a lot of friction or very little. And so as you follow through with the lab write-up, they'll ask you to change the different settings here. And then you can always refresh it to start back at the beginning, or pause it if you need to collect data. So as I said, the PhET simulation is posted on STEM scopes, but the assignment itself is posted on Microsoft Teams. So I'm going to go back here to PhET simulation, masses and springs, and you'll see here that the handout is here. Now, I'm not sure if you guys are able to edit the PDF, so what you could also do is either download it and figure out how to edit it, or you could just follow along and write out your answers on a separate sheet of paper. Whatever works easiest for you is totally fine by me. You can write it out and then take a picture of it and add that picture here before turning it in. The next assignment is the reading science, designing a more fuel efficient gasoline engine. This is a very short read, only 6 points here, and then just a few multiple choice questions. And then finally, you'll see here the fourth assignment is to communicate science. So you are going to create a commercial about a cell phone charger. This assignment is posted here in Microsoft Teams with all the details about it. So you can click on the PDF here, and there is some brainstorming / research that you'll need to do. And essentially, you're answering the question: how can you charge your cell phone without a traditional electrical outlet plug charger? So there's a lot of different options out here. The first one that always comes to my mind is a solar powered charger. If you go out camping or hiking, a lot of times people use a solar powered battery. So you leave it out in the sun, it gathers energy from the sunlight, and then you can plug it into your cell phone, and it converts that energy that's been stored now and transfers it to your cell phone. But there's quite a few different options out there. So you're going to look up information and create a commercial about your cell phone charger. So if you want to design your own creative cell phone charger with its own unique design, that's completely fine. Just make sure you include the technology the design is based on. So like if you did solar powered, that you mentioned that it's solar powered, the different forms of energy that it uses. Maybe you decide to do like a wind energy charger. So all you have to do is blow on the fan and it charges your cell phone. Okay, just talk about the different forms of energy. The method of energy transfer, already sort of talked about that. The inputs and outputs to the system. So, for example, if you were to do some sort of wind capturing system, the input would be the wind energy, and the output would be the electrical energy from the battery to the cell phone. Ways the design mitigates risk or danger. You might find if you look up external batteries, that sometimes they have a risk of exploding if they overheat or anything like that. So keep that in mind. And then benefits and limitations of the design or technology. So for example, if you chose to do one about the solar powered charger, there are some limitations, such as if there's no sunlight, you can't gather the energy from the sunlight. Therefore, it won't charge your battery. So you can do this research and look at different alternative cell phone chargers. You can talk about one that you find, or get creative and create your own. Maybe it's a blend of different types of chargers. And you are going to do a quick little commercial or skit. And you can see here, this is how it will be graded. The overall design of your cell phone charger, the technology, make sure you're speaking correctly and providing the correct information about the technology used, providing accurate descriptions of the energy transformation, the type of input, the type of output for the cell phone charger, that your commercial or skit is creative and informative, and that you effectively use both verbal and nonverbal communication to inform others. So if you decide to show yourself in the video, or maybe you put like a little PowerPoint to it, or pictures or something like that, so that it's not just you talking about the charger, but also showing it off. So this is all the information you'll need for the commercial, and you can take a little picture of your research or your script if you write one out for your commercial. And then when you're ready to actually record it, or if you record it on some other platform to submit it, you can either email it to me, or if it's too big of a file, you can use Flipgrid again. That's the great thing here about Flipgrid. And there is the cell phone charger commercial. So you can record a response here. So you can record your video, or you can see here if you've already made the video on some other platform. Maybe you're really good at TikTok videos or something like that. You can click import video and just import it from there. Just keep in mind that you have a 3-minute limit on your commercial. Most commercials are only 1 minute long, so definitely don't go over 3 minutes there. And last but not least, don't forget we have our live video meetings this week on Thursday. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me by email or Remind101. But that is it. That is a very long video, but hopefully that will help you understand all the different assignments or options that you have for this week's class. Have a good day.